Okay, so when do we eat?
Smoke a lot of conditions on the way down the street.
It's so mysterious. We never get used to the idea that there is anti-Semitism. Either we're naive or we're living in denial. But as soon as things quiet down, we figure that's it. It's over. There'll never be anti-Semitism again. And it always surprises them. So I always wondered, Hitler comes up. Jews were very assimilated into German culture. And in a very, very short time, the whole world turns anti-Semitic. How did he do that? He didn't even have social media. How do you turn the whole world? I mean, that's a powerful charisma that it doesn't make sense. How did he do it? But now it happened again. Almost overnight, the whole world suddenly becomes anti-Semitic. How does this happen? It's mysterious. And no matter how often it happens, we keep denying that it's ever going to happen again, because why would it? How could it? It's mysterious. There's no sense behind it. Well, what's also disappointing, or religious people don't seem to be able to get along. You would think the world would divide up into believers and non-believers. Anyone who believes in God has something in common with everybody else who believes in God. So you'd think religions would have a united front against the non-believers. In biblical times, I guess that's what it was. There were the believers and the non-believers. There were those who worshiped God and those who worshiped idols. And that's how the world was divided. It's not the case. The anti-Semitism in Europe was primarily in the most religious countries, either Christian or Muslim. What is that? Why doesn't religion unite us rather than divide us? So if we really want to get to the core of anti-Semitism, we've got to figure this one out. The most painful question is, why do people who believe in God not get along? Even within their own religion. Certainly not with other religions. Is that?
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. You would think if you believe in God, well, then you're a better person.
Exactly.
Huh?
Exactly. I mean, even the Pope himself said, if you are a Catholic, you have to have a special relationship, understand, love the Jewish people. And I cannot understand how in Catholic countries, in Europe especially, there seems to be, as you said, this anti-Semitism. I mean, you cannot logically, I mean, if you are a Catholic, you should have a special place for Judaism in your heart. And I find that very, very difficult to understand, because to me it is very logical. I mean, it is the foundation.
So let's talk about Catholicism. Hitler chose Catholic countries to put the death camps in. There were no death camps in Germany because he thought it would be easily accepted. And you say to a Catholic, you promote anti-Semitism? No, of course not. So, is there something subtle in the theology that almost predisposes people towards anti-Semitism? So, of course, the church never said kill Jews, but something they said kind of allowed for. So, when any religion is mutually exclusive, it's the beginnings of a Holocaust. It just has to deteriorate a few steps down, and you have violence. So I guess the question is, we know what divides us. What is it that can really unite us? And not love each other. We're not going to love each other. Like somebody, can't we just love each other? Should we first stop shooting? Should we take it one step at a time? First stop shooting, then we'll talk about love. But you don't go from shooting to love. So what would really not just make nice, but truly unite people, because what unites us is powerful and real? What is that?
I think there's people that say they believe in God, but they don't know God. I think if everyone actually knew God, I think it would change a lot of things. People just say, "Oh, I believe in God," but they don't know God. From creation, they don't even believe in creation yet. They just don't know the power and the love God has really for humanity. They just don't know God.
There's even the argument that you can't know God. He's unknowable. Forget about it. Give it up. If you can't know him, you have a hard time loving him. How do you love someone you don't know? So they say they love, something is fundamentally missing. So we're not going to be united like some popular argument. We should all get along. After all, we have the same needs. That is such a poor argument. The reason we don't get along is because we have the same needs. If we all needed different things, we'd get along fine. But we're all fighting over the same dollar. So our needs is what separates us, not unites us. So here's the radical truth. The message from Mount Sinai, the event at Mount Sinai, is called a revelation. What was revealed? That you shouldn't kill and steal? We knew that before Mount Sinai. What was revealed at Mount Sinai? Be nice to your mother? They didn't know that before? It was 2,000 years between Adam and Moses. In those 2,000 years, nobody knew to be nice to their mother? Nobody knew that murder was wrong? The fact is that God gave Adam and Eve 6 commandments. And after the flood, when there was only Noah and his family, God repeated the 6 commandments and added a 7th. That is not to be cruel to animals. So we already knew, don't kill, don't steal, don't commit adultery, don't be cruel to animals, don't worship idols, and be moral, have a courts of law to enforce morality. So what was revealed at Sinai? This is the surprising. What was revealed at Sinai is that God needs us more than we need him. Until Sinai, idolatry was the only way to go. Everyone was into idolatry. Why? Because the assumption was you believe in that which can help you. Well, the sun helps a lot. The moon helps a lot. The fertility of the earth helps a lot. So they started worshiping whatever helps you the most. And you have different opinions. You got to worship the sun because without the sun, nothing would grow. Yeah, but without the fertility of the earth, the sun would be no good. So they had this argument about which is the real God. But what the argument was, who benefits us or what benefits us the most? And so the assumption was worship means be grateful to whatever it is that gives you the most. After religion replaced idolatry, the idolatry kept creeping back in to where the religion became idolatrous in the sense of, what can God do for me? The real revelation at Mount Sinai was not do this, do that. The real revelation at Mount Sinai was God needs you more than you need him. So stop using him and serve him properly. Not to get, to give. Give God? Doesn't he have everything? Almost. The only thing he doesn't have is you. If you can give yourself to him, this is what he needs. So this notion that we are here to serve God, not be served by him, that was the radical change that Mount Sinai brought. And it's taking a long time to convince people, because we keep slipping back. No, we need him. Oh, we couldn't do anything without him. So what is the message of almost all religion? How dependent you are on him. Can't do anything without him. Pray every day, 5 times a day, because nothing is going to happen if you don't get help from him. It's not good. It causes division. It doesn't unite. Because we all have the same need. So who is God going to listen to, me or you? Okay, I got to kill you. On the other hand, if in fact God is the one who needs, then he needs all of us. If we're all here to serve him, that is the most powerful uniting factor. God needs us all. Why would we fight over that? No, he needs me more. All right, so do more. God needs me to serve him? Well, go ahead. Serve him. Knock yourself out. If we could get this message out to the world overnight, just like anti-Semitism can pop up overnight, overnight the world would become divine. If we're all here to serve him, come on, that's heaven. When we're thinking he is going to serve us, that's hell. So, of course, the big question, you can't serve him. He doesn't need anything. I'm simplifying, obviously, but you ask a Buddhist, what can I do for God? God is bliss. Thank you very much for your sentiment, but he doesn't need anything. Ask a Christian, what does God need? God doesn't need. You're born in sin. You're the needy one. Ask a Muslim, what does God need? How dare you suggest that God needs something? Blasphemy. How do you argue with that? So, theologically, the question is, if God is really perfect, how could he need anything? And if he doesn't need anything, then my need is the only need in the world. And he's there to provide what I need, whether it's spiritual, material. So how do we get around this conundrum? God is already perfect before he creates us. How could he possibly need us? And if he does, what does he need? Like, what can you give God? Another tie? So here's the beautiful, romantic side of God. If you need something, you're obviously not perfect. But if you need someone, you are really perfect. Needing someone is not an imperfection. Needing something is an imperfection. The more perfect you are, the more you need someone, because you're not busy with things, because you have everything. Doesn't that sound like a really perfect marriage? I'm perfect and you're perfect. So we don't need anything from each other. Well, now we can really merge with each other. And no thing is going to get in the way. So God's perfection is not an argument against his needing us. It argues for his needing us. God is perfect, he's missing nothing. But there's only God and no one else. God doesn't like it. So I'm going straight for the jugular here. I'm going straight to the point. When God said it is not good to be alone, he was describing himself. As soon as he creates Adam, he says to Adam, it is not good to be alone. I'm going to create you a helpmate. Why did he have to say it? Just go ahead and create Eve. He was doing great, right? He created Sunday, he created Monday, he created Tuesday, didn't say a word. Now he's about to create Eve and he has to explain it. You know why I'm creating her? Because it's not good for you to be alone. Just create what you need to create. You're the creator. Go ahead. What's with the statement? And God said, it is not good to be alone, so I will create you all. Just do it. Almost sounds like he needed to justify. Excuse me, but I'm going to create a woman, and I know I'm going to have to justify that. It's good. It's good for you. It's good for you. It's for you.
Trust me.
Yeah, right. Until Adam was created, God had no one to talk to. Once he creates Adam, there's someone to talk to. And he couldn't wait to tell Adam why he created the world. Why? Not good to be alone. And I was totally alone. So, what's not good about being alone? With human beings, when we're alone, we suffer terribly. So we go out to where people are. And in a very short time, we find ourselves saying, can you just leave me alone? Will everybody just leave me alone? Okay, fine. Oh, no, I'm alone. Is it not good to be alone? We're a little confused on the matter. The human side of us loves being alone. Oh, if I could just be alone. If I could just be independent, self-sufficient, and not need anyone, oh, that would be so good. But there's the divine image in which we are created that has the exact opposite feeling. Just me? What's that? When we say God is perfect, infinite, eternal, all-knowing, all-powerful, it's not compliments. It's describing God's dilemma. Because if you're eternal, if you're perfect, if you're infinite, if you're all-knowing and all-powerful, that's the end of the story. That's it. It's a dead end. Now what? Nothing. You meet guys say, how's everything? Perfect. What's new? Nothing. Nothing is ever going to be new. I'm perfect. So, what are you planning for your weekend? Nothing. Perfection is not a compliment, it's a trap. Why? Because it's not good to be perfect and alone. Not because it's difficult. Obviously, it's not difficult for God. God didn't say it's hard to be alone. He said it's not good. There's no goodness when you're alone. Good for what? You have no problems, you have no issues, you have no needs. Okay? That's good. That just is. Goodness begins when there is someone else. And that feeling that just me is not acceptable, that is divine. It's not human. A human being who feels self-sufficient does not complain about being alone. So that feeling within us, that just me, that's it. I'm the beginning, I'm the end, just me. See, we say that about God. He is the beginning and he is the end. Wow. No, don't be impressed. Feel bad for him. He's the beginning and he's the end. That's miserable. So God said, I'm creating the world because there is nothing divine or godly about being alone. Is it making sense? Why did he have to say it to Adam? By saying it, he implanted it in Adam, that Adam also suddenly couldn't stand being alone. Why? Because there's nothing good about it. So when we say, yes, God is perfect, but he needed someone, that is so much more than perfect. God is not only perfect, he's also romantic. Just for me? Just me?